Welcome back to the Iron Man WoW challenge with me, Sheppo. Right, so we're still in Terracore. We're going to be here for a little while, if I'm being completely honest with you. This zone is pretty big and there's a lot of quests and they're all pretty tightly packed together. So in the last episode, at the back of the last episode, we were in Shatrath doing a couple of quests. We've picked up a couple of quests as well to do out in the forest. But before we do that, we're going to slaughter some spiders, dread fang lurkers, and we're after some venom sacs from these guys, and it's going to take a little while, so you know, I think that probably calls for a much needed fast forward. And we've actually got a few quests to do around here as well. So we've got these Shynor dudes that we've got to kill, 14 of those, and I believe we need to kill some of the other mobs that are around here as well. So yeah, some of these quests, I don't know, I mentioned it before, some of these quests in this zone are pretty dull. If you remember back to when I was explaining how I died, basically I didn't record that because I was doing some of these quests and they're so dull. But for completion, this time I did record it, and you know, the thing is about recording it is you never know if something's going to happen. So, you know, I could get surrounded by spiders here, or anything could happen and I could die. So it's just best if I record it, and if I've recorded it, I'm going to put it up to YouTube as a kind of documentation that I've done the challenge successfully. So here we go. We've got spiders to kill, we've got bird people to kill. Again, I previously mentioned if you can see a mob in WoW, there'll be a quest to kill it. So spiders we're doing, moths we've done, wolves we've done. So we're kind of getting through them. It's kind of a good way to determine whether you've got more quests, is have you killed that certain type of mob yet? No, then there's a quest out there that you need to do. Dread fang lurkers, this is a drop quest, and it's generally not going too bad actually, so that's nice. There just aren't a lot of spiders in the zone, they're all spread out, like literally all over the zone. So it can, if you've got other people doing this quest as well, or if you were doing it in a party, it would be a bit of a nightmare. But thankfully, that isn't the case. We're not doing it in a party, and don't really see a lot of people in this zone at all, to be honest with you, so that's pretty good. And we've got two spiders at once, yeah, that's pretty nice. But we didn't get any venom sacs from those. Typical. So we're just going to fly around and try and get those, and try and get this quest done. I'm very kind of linear like that. I'll go from one quest to the other. I won't. Sometimes, you know, it would be quicker if you mixed up doing the quests, so you don't have to travel so much, but I generally don't do that. There's probably an add-on out there that would allow me to do that, so I'm not travelling about so much. You know, these bird people, I forget what the race is called, but these are the Shynor kind of tribe. There's quite a few of these guys. We've got a special mob to kill here, and I think we need to pick up an item as well. Again, this is, I've mentioned this before in Hellfire Peninsula. The fact that we can fly at level 60 now it makes a lot of this questing so much easier. Previously, to being able to fly, we would have to walk up this kind of complicated treehouse structure and find the route up, and then cross a couple of bridges to get there. And in some instances, that particular treehouse isn't so bad, but some of them are later on in the zone. They're pretty complex and they're sprawling all over the place, and it can be pretty difficult. I mean, I remember doing it back in the day when you couldn't fly up there at level, whatever level we are, 65, and you'd have to walk up, and it took ages. Not anymore. We can do it the quick and easy way, which is nice. But it also means we're not getting as much XP because we're not killing as many mobs as we would have to do otherwise, I guess, if you look at it both ways. But we've got some wing guards. I think we've got a quota of wing guards. I will of Shynor. But this quest isn't that that hard. We get a couple more of these little encampments. They get a bit harder later on. And one of them we get an escort quest, which I wasn't looking forward to. I have a distinct memory of playing through TBC back when I started playing the game again. I initially leveled up as a warlock on release day for vanilla, and I was terrible. I was just terrible bad at being a warlock, and it was on a PvP realm, so it took me months to get to level 60. And then towards the end of vanilla, I re-rolled a hunter, and as far as I remember, that hunter is my main now, but he's changed realms, he's changed factions and races so many times it's hard to keep track. But I think it's the same dude. And I remember leveling him up through TBC, and I struggled on some of these quests. It was tricky stuff. But probably most of that was just down to the fact I was bad. But obviously things have been nerfed a lot now. Yeah, you saw me there just flying up and flying down. That's my little kind of quick way to regenerate my pet's health trick. I've explained it couple of times in the past. It's actually quicker than healing your pet up to abandon it and then resummon it, or fly up, mount up, fly down again is another quick way. It's slightly quicker to do it, I think. Okay, so we're still after these venom sacks. Like I say, it's a drop quest. They're always pretty shitty. For some reason, I don't know why. Blizzard, please just make drop quests. Either just take them all out of the game, or make them like 100% drop rate, or at least really high. 80% I guess would be nice. We need one more, and then we can move on and do the next quest. As I always say with these things, it's if nothing else, it is XP. Sure, there we go. We've got the last one. Okay, at that point I hearthstoned and handed some quests in off camera. We're now back at doing the Cabal people. We had some quests to kill some of these guys previously, and I steered clear of them because they were hitting like trucks. I think one of the hits from these ranged mobs was doing about 50% of my health, and where we were killing them, they were pretty tightly packed. So I was having none of that. I can't remember what level we were. Maybe 63. Maybe 64, so we've gone and got a couple of levels, which I'm hoping will help. I'm just going to be a bit more mindful of interrupting any spells that they're casting. You saw me do one there when he was first casting it. It's good to get into that kind of practice of, if you see a spell being cast, if you can interrupt it, then interrupt it. We don't get a lot of options to interrupt things as an Iron Man hunter, but we do get Scattershot, which has proved invaluable a number of times, and we're going to continue to use it because it is pretty decent. You know, nice little 3-second CC and an interrupt that we get without having to put a talent in, so that's pretty awesome. I'm not sure whether other classes get something similar to that, but I'm happy that we do, for the moment anyway. But yeah, these Cabal dudes, they're kind of like a little ongoing theme that we've got in this zone. There's a number of little themes going on, I guess. We've got the Cabal, we've got all of the wildlife that we have to kill, and the birdie people that we have to kill as well, so that's all pretty good. It looks like we're running out of quests, but now we're going to come back and do this that we didn't want to do last time because I was shitting bricks. We need to get inside. We've got a number of these to kill. And we've got to kill the main dude inside this building. He's a bit of a bad man. As you can see, they're owning my pet up again, down to like 20% health. It's not good, but we're a bit more confident today, I think. Listening back to the original voiceover track I did, I wasn't, you know, shaky voiced. It was like, right, be quiet, let's get on with this. No more stalling. Pulling an additional 2 mobs is not ideal, but we can deal with it, it's fine. The The problem we have, I'm not sure whether I've explained this actually, but the problem we have when we've got a number of mobs in a group is that we can't really do a mend pet, because what that's going to do is it's going to pull healing aggro. So every mob that's not attacking our pet, pretty much, we will pull onto us because of the healing aggro. And we don't get a lot of options to drop that healing aggro. We've got feigned death, we've got a trap we can put them in, we've got scatter shot for 3 seconds, and that's that. We literally have nothing else. So if those are all on cooldown, or we're already pretty low on health, and that's not so good. The trap, for those of you that don't know, actually has a 1.5 second lead-in time, so we can pop the trap down. It doesn't actually take effect for 1.5 seconds, and that could actually be the difference between life and death. If you're really short of health and you need the mob to just stop hitting you immediately, 1.5 seconds might not do it for you. Really, you need to be very careful. Anyway, right, this is where things get a little bit trickier. We're at one of the shadow tombs. You've got to go in here and kill some dudes. And the Cabal, if you just remember what I was saying, some of the Cabal dudes were hitting pretty hard. The Tomb Raiders are actually not too bad. They're melee mobs. We'll gladly take 2 of those on. Whack a trap down. It's fine. We're not even using Hunter's Mark. We're that confident. We've got one now. It's the ranged mobs here that are going to be doing the, causing us the most amount of headaches. So these that dude there we've just killed was one of those. And really, Pet has to get aggro on that straight away. We can't afford to have us grabbing aggro on those, because they'll rip us to shreds. So now we're gonna go inside the tomb. As we're inside, we've got a quest down here. We can see on the map. That's an escort quest. I'm not a big fan of escort quests, if I'm being honest with you. But we're gonna do it anyway, because we're new. With the new Sheppy, we're not going to be shying away from quests unless they're blatantly not the kind of thing that we can do, and these are not blatantly things that we can't do. These are fine. And the way we would normally tackle this is to not loot mobs, because if we don't loot mobs, they have a much longer respawn time. You can just see. You'll see it later on. If the things we've looted, they will respawn a lot quicker. If you're going to do one of these kind of get in get out moves, then it's pretty good if you can not loot things. They're going to not respawn for about 5 minutes, which is pretty nice. Normally, what I would have done here, if we didn't have a quest, I would have actually gone in, done the quest we're in here to do, and then hearthstoned out. Just saves time, really. Anyway, we've got a kind of demon thing to do in here, which is, you can see her there at the end. I don't know whether the quest is to kill her or to get. I think there's a box behind her that we have to pick up. And I read about this quest before coming here, and it was advised that it would be pretty difficult. But so what? Basically, so what? Now, I've got 3 ranged mobs here, the Abjurists, but that's fine, we dinged. So that's pretty nice. Level 66. And there we go, there's the scroll of Atalor. We loot everything now because we're going to leave, and let's have a go at doing the escort quest, I guess. No? No, I'm going to clear it out first. Derp. And the reason for that is, well, it's pretty simple. Some escort quests, the guys will stick around and fight for you, and some others they won't. They'll just literally run off and leave you for dead. And you can never be quite sure which is which. In this instance, I can't remember. So it's always best, I think, if you're doing an escort quest, to just try and clear the path. He seems to be the kind of guy that's going to help out though, which is pretty nice. It makes threat management a lot easier when we've got an NPC to help out, because obviously he'll grab aggro on something and then we can put pet on another, and that's usually enough to allow us to Oh God, that's usually enough to allow us to put a men pet on. What happened there? We pulled too many, and they all attacked the NPC, and he died. So we failed the quest. So we're gonna do it because we got pretty much all the way out. We're gonna wait for him to respawn, basically. So I had to cut a little bit out there because we had to wait for the dude to respawn. But thankfully, I think everything's dead at this point. So okay, so let's get out of here. Just gonna reload my UI, then we'll play this back normal speed, I guess, so we can see he's escaping. Akuna's pretty awesome, actually. I think he's some kind of shaman that has forgotten how to use totems, but he's got like a chain lightning thing, which is pretty nice. It's easy to see how he managed to grab aggro. We'll be a little bit smarter this time about keeping threat off of him. Right, let's see if we can get out this time. Hopefully some of these big pile of bodies there already that we've not looted. We do have these at the side that I'm a little bit worried about, especially the Abjurist. I'm not a big fan of those. Right, let's just see if he can walk out of his own accord without us grabbing aggro. That'd be pretty nice. So you take your time, there's no rush. Beware, more cultists come. And they spawned in a particularly bad spot, actually. So we pulled another one. The other two, the Tomb Raider and the Abjurist, are pretty close as well. So that could have gone bad, but I don't think it has. I think we're pretty safe there, I think. We're going to pull that Tomb Raider. Are we going to pull him? Let's just kill him anyway. Die already! There we go. And he's just on a runner. Don't know why he did that, but that's fine. And I think he's off. I think he's had enough. No. Let's pull a bird. I'm not sure at this point exactly how far he's going to run. Is he just going to keep pulling birds? Well, let's just preempt that and get them out of the way. And at that point he's done. Excellent, so that's a couple of quests done. That was something I thought would actually be a lot harder than it was. We have another tomb to go into later, so that'll be interesting as well. But in the meantime, I think that's probably a good place to leave this episode. We've got a couple of boring quests done, we've got a couple of tricky quests done. That's good, we're making good progress. And we've leveled up, so we're 66 now, episode 65. We're kind of trying to keep ahead of that curve. Not sure how much longer we can keep that going for though. But join me next time for more questing through Terracar. There's still a load more to do, and there's some pretty cool quests coming up on the south side of Auchindoun as well, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.